What up, rival gang and anybody from the YouTube space seeing this video? Welcome to part 13 of my What If series, and today we have Gorr. Yes, a highly anticipated character. Gorr the God Butcher, wielder of the all-black, slayer of divinity, and of course, Duelist. With that being said, he is a 4-star, so there will be a bit of a learning curve, but once you get him down, Lord have mercy, you are going to be a threat to be reckoned with. With that being said, we do have him at 275 HP, 95 damage per second. His ability is mainly based around the all black, which is his main weapon, of course. And then we have 6.5 movement speed, which is meters per second, right? So just to kind of get into his kit overall, I wanted him to be, of course, more of like a duelist slash assassin slash isolator, meaning that he's going to win those 1v1s, right? If you do everything correctly, it's almost impossible to lose with this character, and I think that's going to be his greatest strength as far as this kit we have here. So we have the God Butcher. Certain abilities on Gorr's kit carry the cure reward. When one of those abilities lands the final blow on a kill or contributes to an assist, that ability's remaining cooldown is cut in half. Only the ability that dealt the finishing hit triggers the reduction. The ultimate is excluded. So if you basically get a kill or you get an assist, whatever that last ability you used that ultimately hit that opponent, you get half of that cooldown back, which is what is going to turn this man into a straight monster. So let's get right into it. We have the LMB all black slash, a 4-hit melee combo of darkness infused slashes at 95 damage per second and a 3-meter arc, no cooldown. Obviously, this is his auto attack, right? After Gorr uses his RMB, right, and we'll get into that recast, his next LMB gains a 5th enchanted hit, a darkness charge slam that staggers the target for 0.5 seconds and leaves them vulnerable for 1.2 seconds, taking increased damage from all sources. So pretty standard, right? It's just 4 slashes for the most part. You know, think of any other character that does slashes right now. Probably the first one that comes to mind is Blade. Obviously, Blade is a little different, but somewhat of a similar effect. Now to get into the RMB, which will explain a little bit more, we have Tendril Lash. Gorr whips all black upward, launching the first enemy hit airborne for 1 second. Press the right mouse button again instantly to retract the tendril, yanking Gorr into melee range of that target. Using the recast enchants Gorr's next LMB with a 5th hit that staggers and leaves the target vulnerable. If this ability lands the kill, its cooldown is cut in half, of course, with a 9-second cooldown overall. So I think this is what's going to be the coolest thing about him, right? Because it goes back to the isolation part. You use this, you knock them in the air, you separate them from the team, and ultimately, let's say if they're weak, this is almost like an execution ability as well. And if not execution, it is a great way to ultimately put the enemy in a state to where if they become the main target, this character can be instantly deleted and sent back to the respawn room. Your teammates are going to have to watch out for whoever Gorr goes for when it comes to him isolating the opponent, because this is a quick and easy way to get somebody out of the off the board, right? So, and I think it's a pretty fun way to do it, right? I think it adds to that element of, like I said, that 1v1 duelist situation to where your healers, they're going to have to be on point. Your tanks may have to be on point. Heck, your whole team is going to have to be on point because you are pretty much a goner if they don't come and assist you. Next, we have his shift, which is shadow step. Gorr dissolves into a living darkness and reemerges behind a targeted enemy within 15 meters. A 2-hit emergent shadow follows. The first hit deals 40 damage, the second deals 40 damage and applies a 0.5 second silence. If this ability lands the kill, its cooldown is cut in half with a 10-second cooldown. So with this ability, obviously, y'all know it's just, you kind of get in, but it's really a high reward and high risk at the same time, in my opinion, because if you're able to pull this off, right, especially on those low targets, again, it allows you to get off those quick assassinations. The damage isn't too high, so it's not just so overpowering that you can't counter it, right? Again, if your teammates are on point, you will survive this, but if not, this is a quick way to get into the enemy back line, do what you need to do and create that chaos. So imagine you shadow step, imagine you do last tendril. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see the combo abilities, right? It is going to be so sick seeing these moves, you know, being done all at one time. Next, we have E, which is his blade storm. fires a fan of 5 darkness blade projectiles in a spread arc that deal 45 damage and travel 14 meters. Every enemy hit is staggered for 0.5 seconds regardless of how many blades connect. If any blade from his cast kills or assists, Gorr can recast Blade Storm within 3 seconds as an empowered version. Each blade deals 25 bonus damage. The empowered recast cannot trigger another window. If this ability lands kill, its cooldown is cut in half, and it has an 11-second cooldown. So with that being said, again, think of all the combos that are being done with this. Let's say you go into Blade Storm first. You get the stagger, you pick that enemy, right? You do your Tendril Lash, right? Do whatever you do with that mix up. Maybe you Shadow Step, maybe you don't, right? I feel like this creates a lot of windows for you to be the most perfect assassin and isolator of taking out your enemies. He's gonna be a tricky guy to catch, he will be, but the ultimate goal is if the enemy has a Gorr, again, you need to be able to watch out who he's going to go for, which may mainly be supports, but there's a lot of counterplay in this game, of course, so I don't think these things will be too overpowered. But if he's able to pull off all these things consistently and you master this character, again, this is going to be crazy. I mean, you're going to be able to stop abilities with these staggers, maybe not ultimates, but maybe certain basic abilities that you typically wouldn't be able to stop with other characters. Like the stagger is going to be a key part of what he does here, and the fact that you get the almost the reset on your abilities with the cooldown reductions, you know, depending on if you get those kills and assists from your teammates, I mean, Lord have mercy, this character is really going to be troublesome. So next we have Rending Reach, which is the F. Gorr extends all black in its full length and performs a massive overhead slam, stretching 10 meters ahead, dealing 95 damage to all enemies along the reach and grounds them for 1.2 seconds, preventing movement or jumping. If this ability lands, the kill is cooldown is cut in half. So this one is a little bit longer, it's a 13-second cooldown, but this is pretty much just a slight crowd control ability, so that way you can kind of, you know, figure out what you want to do. Obviously it's going to create some distortion within the enemy team as well, especially being grounded. It creates a lot of opportunities for your teammates as well, but again, just to try to create that window of, you know, who should I go for, you know, who's splitting off where, you know, because this will be an ability in my opinion, because I would say it's probably going to have some sort of a wind up, just being honest, so maybe you can see it coming. But with that being said, you know, maybe some people go right, left, whoever, right, or whichever. And with that being said, you can kind of pick where you want to go, right? Throw the blade, so if you want to teleport, or maybe you can go ahead and do Tendril Lash, you know what I mean? Again, it creates so many crazy cool mixed up opportunities to where you can go in and do your thing. Now your C ability, which I will always say is usually like a team up ability, right? Or you can swap this ability out with any of the others, however you guys feel would be best. And as again, as a disclaimer, as I always say, these are just what ifs, right? I'm not saying he should come into the game with these abilities at all, but I just wanted to create something, you know, that I felt would be cool if he did come into the game and what I think fits his overall aura as a character. So we have C, which is God Cage. Gorr erupts living darkness from the ground, encasing a targeted enemy in a cage for all black tendrils for 2 seconds. The target is exiled. They cannot move, cast abilities, or receive heals. The cage has 125 HP and can be destroyed early by his allies that are attacking it. And when I say allies, just for clarity, right, we're talking about the enemy that you captured. While cage, Gorr's LMB combo homes towards the cage. If the target dies inside, its cooldown is cut in half. So, and it has a 16-second cooldown. So again, just a little slight isolation ability, a little bit more CC and control. Maybe this might be a little overpowered, I'll admit, but you know, the cage can be broken. It's 125 HP. So if your healers and whoever else is doing their job, right, you won't be in that cage too long. But again, if it's a situation where maybe you're the last man standing, sayonara. You're not gonna last too long. So next we have my most favorite ability, the ultimate, the God Bomb, costing 3,200 points. Gorr extends all black in every direction simultaneously, firing a radial burst of blade projectiles outward in a full 360 ring that travels 20 meters, dealing 150 damage to every enemy hit. Blades pierce through all enemies and barriers. After the outward burst fires, press Q again to retract all black, pulling every damaged enemy 6 meters towards Gorr and dealing 125 damage. The silence only triggers on the retract, lasting 1.75 seconds. If the retract is not used, only the first hit lands. The ultimate cooldown is never affected by the passive, of course. So again, I think this is a pretty cool, you know, ultimate, because guess what? You're putting out damage as a DPS. If you retract and do things correctly, that's another layer of damage that's being done. And on top of that, if you land it, everybody's silenced. So his ultimate, in my opinion, isn't like crazy strong, right? But it does enough to where, you know, hey, if you can pull this off, man, this is such a deadly ability. And like I said, don't take those silences for granted, because when you can't do abilities right, I mean, that could be the difference of whether you escape, live, being able to pull off a heal, you know, whatever mobility abilities you have. Y'all know how it goes, right? So with that being said, you know, that's Gorr. I really hope you guys enjoyed this character. Like I said, I think he would be super fun. Just visualizing this in my head and seeing him move around the battlefield with the cool effects that I would hope he would have and things of that nature. I really think this would be a banger character, and I can't wait to see him in the game. I don't know how far away or necessarily how close he is to joining the game. But with that being said, this is number 13, Gorr, the God Butcher himself, wielder of the all black Slayer of Divinity. And trust me, the next one y'all see is definitely going to be a banger, so y'all stay tuned. But until then, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.